is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. Monday night. It's actually the beginning of Tuesday morning. It's about 1 a.m. Tuesday morning, but this is my return to YouTube and wrap-up video for my Monday workday. Didn't make a video yesterday, and I apologize for that, guys, but I did drive for a little bit, but my head was just not in the game. It was a bad day yesterday. This weekend was tough for me, obviously, with what's going on with my daughter. She is doing okay. For all of you guys that are concerned, she's someplace safe. They're taking good care of her. She's working through the issues she's got to work through. But this weekend was tough because she was still kind of fighting the process. She wasn't really working with them to get better. She was kind of rebelling about being where she is, because obviously she's someplace safe where she's kind of locked up, and she can't really, it's not fun, obviously, to be in one of those inpatient places. So, but I talked to the nurses this morning, and I was actually going to drive all local. I wasn't going to drive down there because yesterday she didn't really want anybody to come visit her, and I was kind of expecting today to be the same. So I left the house. I prepared to drive local around Baltimore. I called the nurse just to check up on her, and the nurse is like, "Oh, hey, she's doing good. She's had a good day. Do you want to talk to her?" So she got on the phone, and I talked to her for 15 minutes or so, and she asked if I was going to come visit her, and I said, "Sure, if you want me to," and she said, "Yeah." So that changed everything, of course. So then I repositioned and went down to DC, and I drove around DC for a while, and then I made the trek all the way out to Gaithersburg to see her for visiting hours. And so I basically didn't work from about 5 p.m. until about 7. So it was, to drive there was about 45 minutes from DC in that, that time of night especially. And I stayed for the full hour visiting, and then for about another 20 minutes talking to the nurse, and then drove all the way back to DC. So lost about 2 hours with that, but it was a good visit, and she's doing good. She's coming along, so good news there. And I got back to DC. I worked in and around DC for about 2 hours, and I'll be honest, guys, it was so slow that I even turned on Lyft. Yeah, I did. And did 2 trips. And I said, you know what? Screw this. It's dead in the city tonight. I'm going to just go and work back home. So I set my destination for Towson. I got a ride from Laurel to BWI. And I said, what the hell? I'm here. I might as well see if I can pick up a trip from here. I did, and there wasn't really that long of a wait, and I got a ride from the airport to Silver Spring, and then I said, okay, well, I'll try this trick again. I set my destination for Towson again, and I got a ride from whatever it was, like Fairland, or whatever that little in-between town is between Silver Spring and Columbia, Carrollton or something, to Linthicum. So that's right around the corner from BWI. So I said, what the heck, I'll try my luck one more time. Went to BWI and got a trip to Annapolis. And I said, okay, I'm done, because I got to be at my daughter's facility tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for a family meeting with the doctors. So I got to leave my house at 9:30 a.m. to drive all the way down there. So I knew I wasn't going to stay out late tonight, and the money that I got from that Annapolis trip put me at right around $150. So, to me, that's a good night's work. I don't want to kill myself. It's 1 a.m. I need to get home. I need to get a decent night's sleep so that I can be on the road in the morning and get down there in time for the meeting. So, all in all, guys, it was good. I came out of that, the visiting hours with my daughter, feeling a lot better. Feeling a lot more positive that that all is not lost, because I was pretty dejected and I'm not going to say depressed, but sad all weekend. Just worried parent mode. I was in super worried, scared parent mode. And today's visit, even though she's not out of the woods yet, we're still she's still got several more days. She's going to be where she is, doing the stuff that she needs to do, working with them. But it was definitely it was kind of like the good old days. It reminded me of my daughter, my real daughter, not just the whatever had come over her these past few weeks. It felt like old times. So she was back to her old self. Her sense of humor was back. We were joking and talking and laughing, and it wasn't it was just her old personality was kind of coming through. So I left there feeling really good, and that's how I was able to really work tonight all the way up till 1 a.m. when I quit. Was it really kind of put me in good spirits, and I think you guys could probably tell that by just by the way I am right now. So it was good. It was a good Monday night. Was it the most productive night possible? No, by no stretch of the imagination. I have a weird quest goal this week. It's one of those 2-tier goals: 40-something trips for $50 or $55, and then 70 trips for $90 or $95. So it's kind of like when I first started in DC, where they give you like a halfway goal and then a big goal. And I'm not expecting to really get either one of those, honestly. I did, I think, like 8 or 9 trips today, 10 trips maybe. I think it was 10. And then I did like 3 trips on Lyft. So, not a huge day at all. But, that's okay, because I'm probably going to just work every day, even if I just work less hours than my normal, like 10 to 12 hour shift. But at least this way, if there is, visiting or meetings or family meetings or whatever's going on, with my daughter that's going to take up some time, at least I'm going to work kind of around those hours. So I'll be on the road tomorrow afternoon, but it probably won't be till later in the afternoon, because we're going to drive all the way back from the meeting, and then I've got to basically turn around and go to work after that. So I won't go to DC. I'll probably stay local tomorrow. So we'll see what happens kind of day by day, guys. But it's definitely kind of a try and get back in the saddle week for me to to just get back into the grind of doing what I need to do every day. So that's where things are. I don't even really know where I finished for the week. I can't imagine I think it was like around $400 or $500 total. It wasn't a lot, obviously, because I really only worked like 2.5 days. But that's just what happens. That's what happens when life happens. So, but this week we're going to get off to a good start. I feel like tonight's a good start to getting back in the groove and making the best of the time that I have when I can work and making my time productive. So that's all I've got, guys. Thank you, everybody, for the messages, the couple people that have texted me. I'm just glad to know that you guys are out there, and you guys are hanging with me through this. I know it's not productive Uber talk, so to speak. It's not me giving you guys wisdom or helping you guys get better at your craft. But I still appreciate you guys sticking with me. So that's the ups and downs of this industry, guys, is that stuff happens, and the benefit of doing Uber is that you can turn it on and off when you need to. It's there when you need it to be, and when you need to focus on other things, it's not there. And that's the nice thing about it, because I know that in my prior careers, every time you call out sick or if you have a family emergency, there's always that moment where your boss or your supervisor or whatever they are, whatever their title may be, where they look at you and they, you're not sure. Are they judging you? Are they appraising your story? Are they second guessing you? You don't know. I've had good bosses that really truly cared about me and cared about my family, and when something was going down, they were right there, giving me the time and space I needed. And then I've had other bosses that I know just treated me like a number, and didn't really give a crap about me, and were disappointed that I wasn't there producing for them. So, that's life. You're going to have bosses that are on both sides of that coin sometimes. That's just the way it goes. And, in my years of doing a lot of different things, I can say I've had both. I've had some truly wonderful bosses that I look back on and can say that I honestly learned a lot from. And then I can say that I've had some really awful, just piece of shit bosses, pardon my language, that, I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire. I mean, and that's a horrible thing to say, but they were just that awful at the way they treated people that, they were the reasons why I'm no longer working for them. It's, they're demoral. There are bosses out there that are just demoralizing, that they crush your spirit, and they make it very hard for you to give your best. And, I'm honest enough to say I've worked for both. I've worked for bosses that I would run through a brick wall if they asked me to, because they were that inspiring and motivating, and they appreciated me that much that I felt like I would do anything for them. And I've had bosses that just sucked the life out of me, and I felt like they were just there to use me and abuse me and throw me away. And you've got to be honest with yourself when you got to appraise your boss just like they appraise you, because you get those annual reviews every year, and when they're appraising you, you should be appraising them, because if you just give your life away to some boss that doesn't appreciate you and respect you and treat you like a human being, it's gonna wear you down. It's gonna wear you down. It's just my only bit of advice. And that's one of the beautiful things about Uber, guys, is that we don't have bosses. We are our own bosses. And, that comes with a double-edged sword, because, it requires self-discipline. You have to be strategic. You can't look to anyone else for the answers. You have to have the answers yourself. I mean, there's plenty of resources, resources like the internet, me, YouTube, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's no one that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, what do I do? At the end of the day, you got to make a decision, and you got to stick with it. And, that's where, I hope I can help you. That's where I hope I can, help you guys to think on your feet and plan and balance those two edges of the seesaw at the same time. To know how to make a good plan, know how to strategize, and know how to stick to a plan, and then also know how to react and think on your feet when your plan falls apart or something happens and your plan's not going to work that night. So, that's me not being your boss, but me just kind of helping you to prepare to be your own boss, because that's what we are. We are all our own bosses, and it is a double-edged sword. It's a beautiful thing some days, and some days it's tough. So that's that. But everybody have a great night. Get some rest out there. I will see you guys out on the road tomorrow, Tuesday. For those of you guys that I lost touch with, that I said I would, get together, have a cup of coffee or lunch or whatever. Obviously, everything that's going on this past, few days with me and my family just jacked everything up. And I truly apologize, but I will reconnect with all you guys. And, I think that's important that we do that. So, please just put me on the calendar, because I will definitely get a hold of you guys at some point. Okay, guys, and thank you again, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.